everyone, welcome back to my plants and collections channel. My name is Dana, this is my dog Gunner. As you can tell, I'm really stepping up my game. I have a plant actually in like this shot with me. All the professional plant YouTubers do it. They have like this whole wall of like plants behind them. Like how? All my plants are by windows, it'll be so backlit. So I just, I'm trying. Like, I'm sitting on a bed, okay? Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about plants I used to hate, but I now like. I have my list, I'm ready to go, and most of these plants I have in my collections. I think for this one I have in my collection because I don't want to hype up plants that I don't have, because part of the reason why I like these plants is not only because they look cool, but because of like the fact that they're easy to care for, they grow really fast, or both. Anyway, so I'm going to be starting off with the plant, and then I'll tell you my reasoning behind it, and then what made it change, like why I changed from hating it to liking it. So, starting off, Monstera deliciosa. I used to hate this plant. Obviously now I have one in my collection. It's not super mature or anything. I will insert pictures or a clip or something of it. It has some fenestrations, but nothing too crazy. But the reason why I hated the plant was because of the fenestrations. At the time, I just thought they were so ugly. And I feel like the little hatred that I had behind it was because of how popular it was. I just didn't like it. I don't know why. It just gave me icky. I didn't like the holes, the fenestrations, and the leaves. Then I'm at Stein's, just looking for plants, as you will. And I find myself a nice little baby Monstera for, I'd say $7, $8 tops. And I was like, whatever, okay, I'll give it a shot. It didn't have any fenestrations yet. Grew like a weed. Now that it's a little bit bigger, it is growing a little bit slower, but I feel like that's just how it is with plants, because it takes so much more effort, I feel like, to put out the big leaves. But anyway, it's doing amazing. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it. It's right across the way from me, so if I'm not making eye contact or if I'm looking in the distance, it's because I'm looking at the plants I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, now I love it. It's so easy to care for. It honestly doesn't even need that much water. It lets you know when it needs water because the leaves kind of go like this. So it's super easy to care for. Looks amazing, and honestly, now I really like the fenestrations. Now with the Monstera deliciosa, I'll say that also with the Monstera adansonii, did not like it because of the fenestrations. And also, I don't know, the ripples in the leaves, it just, I don't know, it threw me off. And I wasn't sure about getting one until I got my Monstera deliciosa, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy to care for. Like, I need all of the Monstera. I will say I always liked the Monstera Peru. That was the first Monstera that I liked. Now I want all the Monstera that there is. Not so much, like, I don't care if I get a variegated version or not, especially now with how expensive they are. But like in the future, it'd be cool to have variegated versions of plants once, they're so propagated that there's so many of them and suddenly everyone has them and the prices go down. Then I'll be like, oh, a $13 Thai constellation? I guess. But anyway, Monstera adansonii, I got myself a little baby one first because I was so surprised that it was being sold in like a big box store. So I think it was at Fleet Farm. When I saw it, I was like, oh, it was the last one left. I had to have it right away. And I believe that one is the narrow form. And then I found a big Monstera adansonii at Stein's that was mislabeled. I was like, oh my goodness, have to have it. And I believe this one is the regular form, but it was, like I said, mislabeled, so I got it for so dirt cheap. I think like $10 for like a huge basket full of just Monstera adansonii. Amazing, wonderful, Can't believe I got the plant. I love it. We went through a little rough patch because I did not realize just how root bound it was. It was super root bound. Now it's doing much better. It just needs a little bit more water, and it's a little bit more dramatic when I forget to water it or run out of water, because I don't want to use our tap water. I only use rainwater, but because of that sometimes we run out. But when it does take me a little bit longer to water it, it does drop maybe a few leaves here and there, but nothing too crazy, and it's been growing wonderfully. Next up is Hoya. I used to not like Hoya. I don't know why. I feel like it was another one where like everyone just, all they talked about was Hoya, Hoya, Hoya. I was like, well, whatever, so common, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't really see the perks in it. And also, when I first got a Hoya Crimson Princess, it did not grow fast at all. It was such a slow grower. It took probably 6 months for it to even start growing. And even now, my Hoya Crimson Princess is super slow growing. But I just love the leaves now. I love like the waxy leaves and stuff, and I love like the cool different designs and the veining on the leaves and stuff. I don't like the sun stressing. There's some Hoyas that get like bright red, and I just don't like that. I don't know why. But either way, I still love the leaves, and I want so many different Hoya now. And they're super hard to get my hands on. I did just recently get a Hoya Chelsea cutting. It's like 2-leaf cutting. It came with some Cebu Blue, because I really wanted that one. So I'm excited about the Hoya Chelsea, but I've never propagated a Hoya before, so fingers crossed. Next up is Cactus. Any type of cactus. I just didn't like, because I'm the type of person where I like to feel the leaves, you know, and like touch the plant. But you can't do that with cactus because they're prickly, so I didn't like that. But recently, I just really got into cactus. I really like them because they're a lot lower maintenance than some of my other plants, and also they don't, to my experience, get as many pests as my other plants, which is really awesome because right now I'm having a little bit of a mealybug outbreak. But anyway, I'm really loving cactus and stuff. So this next one isn't a plant, but I used to hate plants that were staked up. I used to be all about vining plants and watching them cascade downward. Yeah, no, that's not a thing anymore. I'll show you. I literally yesterday just staked up a bunch of my plants because I want them to grow upward, and even though their leaves are still looking a little wonky because they're used to being like vining down, they look so cool in my opinion. I'm so happy about them. The reason why I like staked up plants now is because I've learned that if you stake them up, their leaves will hopefully continue to grow bigger instead of progressively getting smaller and smaller, which is really upsetting to me because I want those big juicy leaves. I don't want them to get smaller. That's like the opposite of what I want. So this is really awesome for me. And I mean, if I have duplicates of the plants, then maybe I'll have one staked up and one vining. But if I only have one version of the plant, I'm gonna stake up the first one, and then from there I'll have another one that's vining. Just because, I don't know, it just feels more minimalistic, and it feels so much more like the plant is actually getting stuff. Like, because now that they're staked up, they're getting more direct sun on all of their leaves. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's so much better for the plant. Anyway, last plant that I used to hate, but now like, would be the Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. This plant I did not like because, like I said, the fenestrations in the leaves. And I don't know, I didn't like how they never got like super thick, if that makes sense. Like the leaves are all kind of spaced apart. But now I just really enjoy the minimalist look, and especially now that it's staked up, it looks so cool. I just really love the plant now. It's really fast growing, super easy to care for. I can't say enough good things about it. Definitely one of my favorite plants that I've ever owned, and highly recommend it, especially since it's not super pricey to get, I don't think. I got mine, which was a fairly mature plant, for I'd say $15, and it has since doubled or tripled in size, and I got it not even a year ago, so it's doing fairly well. During winter it did put out like a little bit of a bare runner, but I heard that it does that when it's looking for a place to latch onto to grow, and I wouldn't be surprised if it just got cold in general, because I did have it very close to a window, but it's since put out so much more new growth, and it's just a stunning plant. Anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed me talking about plants that I used to hate but now like. If this inspired you to maybe get some of the plants I was talking about, please let me know down below. And I hope it did inspire you, or, you know, maybe you'll find me funny, or maybe relatable even, if you went through a similar experience. But either way, if you have plants that you do not like, or you do like that I didn't like, leave me some comments down below. Love to talk to you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!